Hello, everybody. This is Fred Nwankwo again, coming to you from our studios in Chicago with Bold Talk on Allen TV. In this edition, we're going to bring Bold Talk to you from a different point of view, the point of view of our personal lives and our family lives. Let me start out with a question. Have you ever thought taking a moment to sit back and think about your family and what becomes of your family if you're not here? Just something we need to think about. The responsibilities we have to our families, if we are really responsible about taking care of our responsibilities to our families, those responsibilities really don't end because we pass on. The difference is that people who plan well, after they pass on and their families are done crying and mourning, they wake up the next morning and look around their situation and really feel good that their father or their mother who moved on had planned well for them to continue to live well based on the standard they were living while he or she was here. This was not a planned episode. It wasn't an episode I was planning to do 3 weeks ago or 2 months ago. It's just something that occurred to me because I found myself in the hospital having to go through, depending on how you look at it, a minor procedure that realistically was a very major procedure. I went for a CT scan unrelated to my kidney, and the CT scan found nothing related to what I was complaining about, but luckily and accidentally found that I had a tumor in my right kidney. A little tumor, which I describe as a bean-sized tumor. And I had to sit down with my urologist, who my doctor referred me to, and go through all the options that are left to me to address this problem. One of them is do nothing about it and watch it to see how it grows, how it develops. The other one is to ice it with what they call, I think it's called cryo, or to do radiation, or to just do a biopsy to see if it's malignant and then decide what to do after that, or to just cut out the whole right kidney. With good advice from medical people and with divine intervention, I decided to go with what they call the partial robotic nephrectomy, which is to have a robot go in there assisted by the surgeon to cut out just the area around that tumor and then put things back together, but make sure they cut it out. The good news is it was caught early. The other good news is that I was in the hands of a very good neurologist, and I thought I'll share these videos with you, and go ahead and watch, and I'll come back to explain a few more things. I thought I'll share this video because our YouTube TV or our program on our YouTube TV is called Bold Talk on Allen TV. And to be bold, one has to be willing to not only talk about, but also show his community and his surroundings at all times. Marie, yes. Could you say hi to them? Yeah. Say hi to. Hey. That makes you guys know that this is real, and I'll continue when she leaves. My niece is visiting me. She called me the night before the surgery to pray for me. That kind of made me scared. The prayers made me scared. What? Because it made me think about the realities of life. But I truly appreciated it. So, while I was going through this experience, I thought about myself, and I also thought about everybody who is in a position to do something to alleviate this kind of problem if the worst happened. And it's on that note that I ask you, do you have adequate life insurance to take care of your family if something happened to you? If you don't, what are you waiting for? Because if you have to go through these life-changing experiences before you decide to call an insurance agent to take care of your life insurance needs, it may be too late, because when you call them and they write the application, you may be turned down because they find you uninsurable, or they may approve it, but at a much higher premium that it makes it almost impossible for you to be able to afford it. Listen to this next video to see why I recommend that everybody in our community calls an insurance agent that they trust to sit down and discuss their insurance needs to the comfort of your family, whether you live or whether you die. Take a listen. Hello, welcome to another edition of Bold TV. Today we're going to address a topic that we've addressed a lot, but things continue to happen that makes it almost inevitable for me not to talk about it. It is something I have a passion about. And when you are passionate about something, if you think it's not sinking in, you have to continue to talk about it. I'm talking again about life insurance. Yes, life insurance. Too many things continue to happen in our community that makes it almost asinine for me as a professional who works in that field not to come back and keep talking about it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe people in the community who do what I do are doing something wrong. Maybe we need to get a little more vocal about it. Maybe we need to get a little more tactful about it. Maybe we need to find a way to figure out what does it take for this community, our community, to understand that life insurance is not just something that should be a consideration you are thinking about. As a married man, as a married woman, as family people, life insurance is an absolute necessity. You need to own it in your household for your financial planning to be complete. Many times I see people making lofty financial plans. Lofty financial plans are great, guys. Nobody in their right senses is ever going to discourage you from making lofty financial plans and lofty college plans for your children. But life is something that is very dicey. We don't have any promises. We don't know when it's going to end. As I speak to you, with medical technology, I absolutely believe that the average one of us will live till 80, 90, 95. The medicine is there, the technology is there. However, the reality remains that some of us dropped at 40, some dropped at 50. We don't have the key to this stuff, and we don't know who it is. And because we're married and we have children, it is our responsibility to our families to make sure that if something happens to us, that our children and our spouses and our loved ones can move on, but also on a selfish part for you who is involved, to make sure that you can be given a befitting burial, the kind that you want to have. If you want to be taken home, to make sure that the funds are there to take you home. But now that's the end of the bad news, if you call that bad news. There's also the good side of life insurance. Life insurance is not about spending money. Life insurance is not about death. Life insurance is about leaving a legacy when you die. Things that people will remember you about because you left an insurance policy to ensure that those things are done, whether you live or you die. Your children going to college, the beautiful house you bought with your wife or with your husband, to make sure that it's paid off without your family moving out of there. But now the best news, assuming that you're one of those lucky ones, which many of us are going to be, who lives into the 80s and the 90s, the premiums you pay are also building a cash value for you. So the cash value in your life insurance could also become part of your financial planning for your retirement. It becomes a supplemental plan that you use in conjunction with your 401k or your pension plan to live for the rest of your life. What am I trying to say? Life insurance is something that whether you live, get disabled, or die, there is something in it for you. It's not only for the loved ones when you die. It's for you and the loved ones if you live. Folks, this is not going to be a long tape. It's a short one. I promised it's going to be short because I think some of the feedback I got in the past is that the tape is a little too long. It's interesting, but it starts getting boring when it gets lengthy. So I'm going to cut it down here. Just to summarize, life insurance is not something to consider. Life insurance is a necessity. Life insurance is something you need to pick up your phone. If you have a wife and children and a mortgage, pick up your phone, call an agent, sit down and talk to them to give yourself a peace of mind. Fundraising to bury you is old. It's archaic. It's not the right way to do things. There should be wake-keepings. Wake-keepings should be held to honor your life, celebrate your life. It shouldn't be an event for your family to desperately sit and be hoping and praying that people raise enough money. But let's face it, if you don't have life insurance and you don't have a whole lot of savings, how much are they going to raise? And after they are done raising that money and you're buried, nothing is left for your family. Let's do the right thing. I know you will. Make life insurance the buzzword in our community and watch our communities change over the next 25 years. It changes lives. It makes things happen. It creates investments. It's a good investment. It's a good thing to invest your money in. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
I see the sun in your eyes. I see see the stars in your eyes. I see the colors of the rainbow in your eyes. So baby, if not play, you they play. Baby, make you stop, I'm sharply. I say make you stop, before you come make mess in my day. Enjoy, but me so pussy see ya. Oh my love, my baby, bella, you today. Now you will be my